Hey guys, Potomac, season 6, episode 4. Let's get right into it. This is my second time filming this video, so I'm going to try to speed it on up. But you got Robin and Giselle. This episode starts out with Robin and Giselle. They are at some studio or some type of hair salon, something like that. They're getting ready for their podcast. So they have a podcast coming out called Reasonably Shady. Robin and Giselle, they said that they were doing like Instagram lives together during the pandemic, and they said that their fans and their followers took an interest and, you know, them just having their everyday girlfriend talk, and they were like, how about we start a podcast? To be honest, I'm not interested in the podcast. I don't really know what they're going to be doing or talking about because they don't really, Giselle's not really doing much outside of the Potomac. Robin's not really doing much besides this hat line that people are barely wearing. And to be honest, like I said, Robin's is kind of boring. And also, I think Giselle could honestly do a podcast on her own. But Giselle going to say, with my work ethic combined with Robin's work ethic, I don't really know how long this podcast is going to last. Or I don't know, like, so why you can't even sell us the podcast? What make you think we want to watch it? You ain't even selling it to us, Giselle. Like, me and my girl Robin, we coming together, we doing the podcast. Like, she like, I don't even know if this is going to work because Giselle, how you selling the podcast and you can't even, or how you trying to put together a podcast and you're not even getting us hyped up to see it? I don't want to see it now. You like, I don't even know how long this is going to last. Because to be honest, Giselle already does the Bravo chat room with Portia. And then now she's doing she has a Reasonably Shady podcast with her and Robin. Like I said, Giselle can do her own thing. And then Robin's just kind of tagging along. But what were they talking about at the podcast? They send Mia the text message and basically tells Mia, like, you know, we would like to get to know you without Karen being there. I didn't even have my damn microphone plugged in, and I'm not recording that part again. So Giselle is texting Mia, telling her, hey girl, let's get drinks without Karen and everything. And Robin's just sitting there co-signing, like, yeah, all right, yeah, let's go, you know, get to know her without Karen. And it's like, you didn't have to send that text message. But also, too, like, while they were getting their stuff ready for the podcast, because they were just in there, you know, having a photo shoot so they can take pictures for the podcast, Giselle was talking to her stylist about how, you know, the pandemic messed up her and Jamal's relationship. Robin says the pandemic just rushed the breakup. Like, there was no sparks, there was no love there was nothing there. What else happens? We flash to Ashley, making sure this thing is in. We flash to Ashley, her and Michael go out to dinner. Her and Michael now carry around this hospital bag because Ashley's ready to bust. Ashley is talking to Michael over dinner, and Michael tells her that he wants to start producing movies and everything, and Ashley's just kind of like, are you sure this is a good idea? You know, like another business venture. We're about to have 2 kids, like, and you're now about to start, you know, gambling and experimenting with your money. We have 2 kids to worry about. So that's that. Karen is home burning some food. Karen can't cook. I don't understand. That's not cute. Like, you're a grown adult. Like, you need to learn how to fry an egg, make a grilled cheese, set the oven, 350, 375. You need to learn how to cook. Like, and you have 2 kids. So Karen gets on the show, act like she can't cook. What did you cook your kids? Or was Ray always cooking? I don't know. So Karen's just talking to her daughter, who's now in New York. Her daughter has a job in whatever career field she is. She has a good job now. And Karen's just basically telling her daughter, like, convince dad to, you know, get me a new ring, up the ring for the, you know, our vow renewal. So that was a cute little scene between her and her daughter. So then you get Mia. Mia is going to one of her offices, like one of the little chiropractic offices that she owns. She's just overseeing everything, making sure that everything's up and running right, you know. And then her son FaceTimes her. He's like, Mom, are you taking me to practice? And she's like, no, like, Dad's going to take you, Daddy G. Or is her husband's name Gordon or Gene? I think it's Gordon. So she's like, Daddy G's going to take you. So Gordon grabs the phone like, why aren't you taking him? I thought you was going to take him to practice. She's like, look, I got all this I'm running. I have a conference call. I got another meeting after this. Like, why can't you just take him? And he's like, because I'm 68 years old and I want to sit at home and smoke my cigars. That's why. But he didn't say that. But he just basically tells her, like, you need to make time for, you know, your family. Like, I don't mind taking him, but, like, this is like the second time now that you haven't taken, you know, our son, your son to practice. But it's like, if you're retired You're sitting at home now and she's taking over the business. Why can't you just take the kids? But I know you do need to balance that, that family life or whatever. And she's like, are you making me feel bad? He's like, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I just want you to know, like, balance your family life. Like, come on. But it's like, gee, get used to it, because y'all got two kids that are like both under 5, like 5 and 2 or 5 and 3, like, and you're already 68. So you got a long way to go. You're going to keep taking more and more kids to practice. So get used to it. So that was just Mia and her husband going back and forth about taking the kids to practice. We flashed to Robin. Robin meets up at the park with Ascala and Wendy, and they're just working out, half-assed working out, gaining weight from the pandemic and everything. Robin is so just like blah, like y'all could have met up at a restaurant, maybe went out and had drinks. Like there's no glitz, no glam to Robin. Like she really is just very basic, which isn't always a bad thing, but we tune into Housewives for the glitz, the glam, all that, and Robin just doesn't give that. But you got Wendy coming in with her hair done, cute little outfit on, little skimpy little jacket with the fur around the hood. Ascala got her Gucci hat on, Gucci whatever, Gucci shirt she got on. She got a fur coat. They did not come to really work out and bust a sweat. And they got a full face of makeup, all that going on. Robin is literally the only one who came ready to work out. No makeup. She got a headband on. Like she's really ready. Like she could have bust a sweat if she really wanted to. So after they do their little half-ass workout, they start walking, and Robin asks Ascala, like, what do you think of the group? What do you think of the girls? And Ascala's just kind of like, Mia's kind of messy. Like, she's just kind of, I just feel like she's wrapped up in a lot of mess. How do you get that, Ascala, just from hanging out with them at the party? Like, you walked in on, like, Wendy going in on her, Wendy going in on Mia. So how do you just get that she's messy? But anyway, so Robin's like, well, Mia is messy. Look at these text messages that she sent. So now we're about to get Robin tell her side of the story, and we're about to get Mia tell her side of the story. So now we flash to Mia. Mia has Karen come over, and Mia and Karen are just talking over tea and cheese and wine and everything. And they're kind of telling the story. So back to Robin. So Robin's like, Giselle and I texted Mia, told her that we just wanted to go out and take her out for drinks and get to know her better. And we told her, without Karen, don't bring Karen. But even Ascala and Wendy was like, oh, you told her not to bring Karen? Like, okay. So she's like, well, we just want to get to know her without Karen. Robin's still trying to downplay it. Like, y'all know what y'all were doing. Giselle, and Giselle's text message was shady. And the whole without Karen was not needed in the text message. You know that. Even Ascala and Wendy picked up on it. So you got Robin like, I just don't really like Mia's response. I responded back to Mia like, why are you being so rude? We're just trying to get to know you. We didn't like this didn't warrant like such a rude response. So then you flash to Mia. Mia's just talking with Karen, and Karen's asking her like, what do you think of the girls? How'd you like the pamper party? And Mia was like, did we even really pamper Ashley? Because there was a lot of drama going on, like, So Karen is like, I really don't even really have an issue with a lot of the women. She's like, I really don't even have an issue with Robin. Robin is just up Giselle's ass. Like, so it's kind of hard for me to really get to know Robin throughout the years. So then Mia's like, speaking of Robin. So Karen's like, what's going on with you and Robin? Like, what happened? So she's like, well, they texted me. Mia's like, Giselle and Robin texted me and said they want to meet up with drinks, but without you. Don't bring Karen. So Karen and Mia just look at each other and they just started busting out laughing. They started cackling. And Mia was like, first of all, this is what I sent to them. You're not going to tell me who I can and can't bring. So from now on, if you want to keep speaking to me or you want to reach out to me, speak to my assistant. I can probably fill you in to get your back cracked or something like that. So Mia's like, if you don't know, now you're gonna know that I'm a boss, and you're not gonna dictate how I get to know everyone in the circle, Giselle. So Karen's just like, you can get to know the girls. I don't really have an issue with any of them. It's just that Robin's always up Giselle's ass, so it's kind of hard to get to know her. Giselle is Giselle. My relationship with Giselle is what it's gonna be. So that was that. So you kind of got Robin telling her side of the story, and then you got Mia telling her side of the story. So we got like the scenes were kind of jumping back and forth. Oh, also too, Robin says something to Mia like, "Is this how you treat people that's just trying to get to know you?" But again, like, don't, like, you're trying to dictate, and like, why would Mia bring somebody with her? Mia already approached you and Giselle on her own and got your numbers. without, needing Karen to be. So why would she bring Karen with you? Like, Karen, she doesn't need a wingman, Robin. Unlike you, I feel like Mia can kind of navigate. And Mia's going to be on the show longer than the way things are going. Mia will probably be on the show further seasons than you will, Robin. So I don't think Mia needs help with getting to know people and everything else like that. So we flash to Candace. What is Candace doing? Candace goes to the studio to finish up her vocals on her song Drive Back. Guys, check out the video on my channel. I did a review for Candace's song Drive Back. She has a music video out for it now as well. And I did a review for it, so check out my other reviews for the previous episodes, and also check out my review for Candace's single Drive Back. And then we flash to Giselle. Giselle is taking her daughter Grace, tight teeth talker like Riley from Atlanta Housewives. She's taking her daughter Grace to get her permit. It's taking her like 3 or 4 times to get her permit. So you got her daughters in the back, like, go ahead, girl, you got it. They drove her to the DMV. So you got her daughters in the back, like the twins, like, yeah, girl, you got it. But when she gets out the car, they're like, this is embarrassing. If she doesn't pass this driving test, that's embarrassing. Like, this is now the 4th or 5th time. So then she gets in the car and she failed her test again. And you got the twins in the back, like laughing, just being typical siblings or whatever. But Giselle says she's going to take her to get her permit again. Like, okay, we'll book another appointment. But Giselle says when her and Robert were taking pictures for their podcast, because they were talking about Grace's, fell in the DMV, she said that Grace is an embarrassment to the Bryant last name. We ain't gonna talk about what's an embarrassment to the Bryant last name. If I were you, Giselle, I wouldn't even still have Bryant as my last name. But anyway, moving on. Where were we? Oh, so Candace. Oh, I skipped the part. So when Robin, Escala, and Wendy were walking the park, Candace FaceTimed them and said, I'm having a pajama party. Come to my pajama party. I want you all there. So now, after Giselle takes her daughter to get her permit test, we flash to Candace's pajama party. So Candace is having a pajama party. Karen arrives first. Candace is greeting everybody at the door with fireball shots. She's like, here, girl, take a shot. Karen is like, not trying to take the shot. She's like, I already drank around you bitches and it backfired. And y'all start running your mouths about everything I was telling y'all while I was drunk. I ain't drinking around y'all hoes no more. So Karen takes a little bit of the shot, and Candace is like, really, Karen? Now you love some fireball. So she ends up finishing the shot for Karen. Who gets there after Karen? Robin. Robin gets there. And she's like, Robin, hey. And Robin is like not here for Karen at all. How's the wedding? How's the wedding planning going? How's everything going, Robin? How's you and Juan? And she's like, we're good. When's the wedding? I don't know. We're not rushing to get married, Karen. It's a pandemic. So Karen's like, why don't you guys do something small, justice of the peace or something like that? Like, And Robin's just like, because we're not rushing it. We're not trying to have a super spreader wedding. So you got Karen kind of acting like she's concerned. But then in her confessional, she's just like, throwing shade again at the wedding, saying, girl, y'all probably ain't gonna get married. Stop fronting like you are. And who else gets there next? Giselle. Giselle arrives. She walks in. She's like, ooh, the hater's here. Talking about Karen, calling Karen a hater. And Karen says in her confessional, girl, the only hater is you, Giselle. You know you're a hater and you've been a hater. What else we got? Who gets there next? Oh, Candace says she didn't invite Ashley. But they're like, you purposely didn't invite her. You didn't invite her on purpose. So Candace is like, well, Ashley wouldn't want to be here anyway. So why would I invite her? Like, Ashley wouldn't want to come anyway. So then Escala and Wendy arrive. And then they're like, where's Mia? Giselle gonna say, wherever Mia is, she can stay. If she's not here by now, she can stay wherever she's at. So Mia gets there. They kind of start talking about the text message and everything, and Robin's like, the text messages was rude. Actually, a little before Mia gets there, they start talking about the text message. So Robin's like, the text messages were rude. We're just trying to get to know her, and it was rude. And Karen was like, well, my name shouldn't have been in the text messages at all. They shouldn't have. And Giselle's like, well, you brought Mia around this group, so we're just letting her know not to bring you. Again, why would Mia need to bring Karen with her. Mia has already been holding her own this entire, like, so far this season. She already approached you and Robin on her own and got your numbers. She already, was did her grown woman thing and, moved beyond Karen to get to, get your number, you and Robin's number. So why would she need to bring Karen with her to dinner? You didn't have to put Karen's name in there. You didn't have to, Giselle, and you know that. And Giselle was like, well, since everyone knows about these text messages, then she needs to come in here and correct them, because what I said wasn't wrong and this and that, but it seems like Mia's, running around telling everybody, giving everyone the 411 on these text messages. So Mia gets there, and Karen and Candace were the only ones to really greet her. You got Wendy kind of like, Wendy's still being a hater for whatever reason. And then Giselle and Robin just like, got the stink face, the identical face, But Mia walks in and Giselle kind of gives her the stink look. So then Robin looks to Giselle to see if, are we going to greet her or are we going to roll her eyes? Oh, Giselle, you rolled your eyes? Let me roll my eyes too. Robin does whatever Giselle does. So anyway, Mia always kind of walks in like, hey, hi y'all, what's going on? Kind of like what she did at the pamper party, and they was just, and Wendy just was ready to lay into her, And also too, I think Giselle kind of had a little funky look on her face too, because she wasn't feeling what Mia was saying. Anyways, flash forward back to what we're talking about. So Karen just fills Mia in right away. She's like, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the text messages, and I was letting them know that you guys were wrong on both parts. Mia, you shouldn't have been so, nasty and condescending with your response, but Giselle, you were wrong for putting my name in it. And Giselle's just not backing down. I'm not wrong. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. And Mia was like, no. Ascala says, I just want to say, like, what did Ascala say? I'm reading through the BS or something. She said, put her input in, wasn't even needed. But she's like, the text messages were rude. They were very rude. And Mia was like, Ascala, how many businesses do you own? How many businesses do you own? And Ascala was like, I own several businesses. I own several. And here comes Robin. What does that have to do with anything, Mia? What does that have to do with anything? Robin's yelling and screaming, I'm so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now. But she's like, what? She's like, what does it have to do with anything, Mia? What does that have to do with anything? And Mia's like, because if you own businesses, you know how to move and navigate in certain, different circles, and you know how to handle yourself around different people. I guess that's what Mia was trying to say, but it just wasn't connecting. It didn't make any sense. What does owning businesses have to do with I don't get it. So what else happens? Giselle's just not apologizing. Ascala says the text messages were rude. And Robin's still kind of like going off like, yeah, it was just rude. It was wrong. You shouldn't have said all that. So Candace goes, look, this is not going to be resolved here. It's not. Let's just play some games. Let's play some beer pong or some champagne pong. And, because this is not going to be resolved here. So Mia pulls Giselle to the side. She's like, I just want to apologize. I think we might have got off on the wrong foot. No, you got off on the wrong foot. This is Giselle. No, you got off on the wrong foot. I was being nice to you, Mia. I was just trying to get to know you and everything else like that. And you got off on the wrong foot. Again, Giselle's never apologized. Remember last season when Candace and Giselle kind of had like a little riff going on, and Candace pulled Giselle to the side and she was just trying to apologize to her, and Giselle was like, you're wrong. Yeah, you was wrong. And you, like, instead of, Giselle's never like, you know what, I might have been a little wrong. Let's squash it. Let's move forward. She's always just never backing down, never apologetic. And you got Candace tucking her tail and kissing up to her, and Candace ended up apologizing. Instead of it both being like a mutual thing, like Candace ended up just apologizing to Giselle, and Giselle just kind of like, why y'all be kissing Giselle's ass? Like, I don't get it. So you got Mia basically apologizing. She says in her confessional, like, she doesn't want to be that snappy, bitchy, girl, that's that new girl coming into the group. So she just wanted to be the bigger person, apologize to Giselle, and, hopefully they can, get off on a better foot, next time. And I think they are still going to meet up for drinks and everything. So they make their way into the living room, and Candace is like, let's play Never Have I Ever. So I think they said, what did they do? They said, never have I ever had a threesome. Never have I ever taken ecstasy. Never have I ever had my clit done. And of course, Mia's the most transparent. So she's like, I had a threesome. I just sat there and I watched. I didn't want the girl to touch me. I just sat there and I watched Gene, or is his name Gene? I keep calling this man Gene. Gordon. She's like, I let Gordon do his own thing. I'm like, girl, ain't nobody having no threesome and I'm watching. Either we having a threesome and the third person is pleasing to both of us, or we all mixing together doing our own thing. We all touching and rubbing. I'm not sitting back while you, nope. So that was pretty much it. They didn't really get into a lot. It was a nice light episode. You can tell that Robin and Giselle and all them are still, Robin, Giselle, and Mia are still, they're still open to get to know each other. To be honest, this whole Robin, I don't know if I said this already, but this whole Robin, Giselle, and Mia storyline, we could do without Robin in the storyline. Like, Robin doesn't really have a storyline. Giselle never really has a storyline, but she always kind of gets wrapped up in the drama. So you got, remember these last couple episodes where you got Wendy kind of fighting with Mia, but she's like, I'm sticking up for Giselle. So it's like they're kind of like wrapping Giselle up in it. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, Giselle doesn't even really need a storyline because she always kind of gets wrapped up in the drama. I feel like Robin didn't really have much of a storyline this season, so now it's kind of like, well, me and Robin want to get to know you, Mia, so let's go get drinks. Honestly, Giselle could have just honestly said, hey Mia, let's go get drinks. This whole podcast thing too, like, Giselle can do her own podcast. Like, Robin, like, no one's interested. Like, I'm not even interested in what Giselle has to. Giselle doesn't have much going on outside the show, neither does Robin. So, like, them coming together to do a podcast, and Giselle wasn't even selling us the podcast. She's like, with my work ethic and Robin's work ethic, I don't even know how long this podcast is gonna last. Damn, girl, you should be like, me and my girl, that's my bestie. We always shooting the shit and always talking or whatever. And, our conversations are always juicy. So we started a podcast. Sell it to us, Giselle. Sell it to us, girl. Come on. But anyways, this was a good episode. Ashley wasn't there because she was going into labor, but also Candace is like, oops, I forgot to invite her. She didn't want her there anyway. So the episode goes off with Ashley, she's going into labor. That was pretty much it. It was a decent episode. I liked the episode. You see next episode, Mia and Giselle actually do meet up for drinks. I don't even think Robin was there. Again, like I said, Robin didn't even need to be included in this whole text message thing. But I mean, I get it. Robin and Giselle are besties in the group, so I understand it. But do you guys get what I'm trying to say, though? Like, the whole thing with, like, Robin kind of being included in this whole text message, which, I mean, I kind of get it because Mia did kind of approach Robin and Giselle. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too hard on Robin. I don't know. But that was episode 4, season 6 of Potomac. Like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, go check out my other videos on my channel of episode 1, 2, and 3. Or actually, I didn't do episode 1, but 2 and 3, the previous episodes. Check out my review for Candace's drive back video. I will see you guys later in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of you for watching my channel, tuning in, subscribing, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later.